Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video to my last Naturnest video. I got a lot of requests from people saying, hey, can you show it opening and closing, and can you show us more on how the bedding goes into it? So this video is going to be about that. So if you want to see how easy it is to open and close this tent, as well as how much bedding fits in it, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip.
So I'm going to hop up here and show you how I open this thing. If you have a truck, it does make it significantly easier because the tailgate makes it easy to jump up there and get to everything. Back when I had my Xterra, my SUV, though, there is a back bumper. You can easily reach these two latches, and then that's pretty much it for opening it. So let me hop up here really quick and I'll show you how it opens. Once you free the two latches, all you have to do is simply push up on it a couple inches, and then the gas struts take over and they lift the tent up. That's what it looks like when it opens. It does have this bungee strap that kind of holds all the fabric in to make it easier to close. So you want to pull that down and around the edges. Just like that, so it's out of the way. Then at that point you can add your awning poles to sort of hold out the awning. Now as far as bedding that I keep in it, I do keep a Coleman 0 degree sleeping bag in here. I also keep a wool blanket back in the back and a small down blanket, so just in case I've got a number of layers if it gets cold. I do keep the ladder that comes with it up here, and it's got a shoe bag, an aftermarket shoe bag that I use. And then I also keep the awning poles up here, which are pretty small, but they do come with this little bag, so it makes it easy to store them. So I also wanted to kind of just get up close and personal, so I am standing on the tailgate of my truck right now, looking into the back of the tent, so you can kind of see the whole thing here. I did add a patch panel to the top there so I could put all my patches in it. I just used safety pins to attach it to the top there. I think that works pretty well, and it just barely fit. I'll put a link in the description to this one because it just fits above those pockets. So if you're looking for something like that, again, I'll put a link in the description. It was like 17, 18 bucks, something like that, and it's Velcro adherent, so you can just stick Velcro patches to the patch panel, which is really nice. But I wanted to show you a close-up of the bedding and stuff inside of it. So you can see I actually don't have, usually I keep a wool blanket kind of folded back there and then a down blanket in front of that. But so that's totally open back there. But so then the way that I have this laid out in here is I have my ladder over here kind of sitting on the material for the side entrance. I've got my sleeping bag right here. And as you can see, the sleeping bag, I mean, this is a 0 degree bag, so it's relatively thick. So I mean, you can kind of see that's not like a little skinny sleeping bag. It does take up actually quite a bit of room in the tent. So that being said, though, I don't obviously have room for like a pillow or anything like that, especially not a full-size pillow, which I really like for rooftop tent camping. So I'll usually just throw that in the back seat. But you can see the mattress. I mean, it is super comfy. It is very, for a stock mattress, it's actually pretty nice. But so then I've got the ladder over here. You just have to kind of think about how you're going to lay things out so that you don't double them up, because obviously if you put your sleeping bag on top of your ladder and stack a bunch of stuff up, then it's going to get harder to close the tent. But what I've found is that with the sleeping bag in, a couple of extra blankets and or like a coat, sometimes I'll throw my coat up here for winter camping and stuff so that it's just in the tent if I need it to get out in the middle of the night, and then my ladder and the poles kind of in the middle here, that I've got plenty of room for that stuff with no sort of difficulty in closing the tent. But again, if you had a really small, like camping pillow, you could probably leave that back there in the back and have enough room, because again, as you can see, there's nothing back there that's totally open. Another thing I wanted to point out while I'm in here is I did have a question about whether you can remove the awning. Now, the awning itself seems to be stuck inside of the tent. It doesn't seem to be removable. However, the lining of the tent has a zipper that runs the entire length of the inside here. So I'm like 99% sure that you could probably purchase a replacement liner if you've got a hole in it or something like that, which is actually a really nice feature to have a replaceable fabric portion of the tent. So anyways, I noticed that as well and just wanted to point it out. Then setting up the awning is actually really easy. It comes with 5 poles, so you actually have an extra. This one here has sort of a straight edge to it, and this is the one that I use over here because of my awning. So it kind of helps raise it up and get it out of the way of your awning. So as you can see, this goes up and out of the way before coming out, so then that allows your awning to open all the way. One tip is it is a little bit easier to put the pole in first and then bend it up to the awning. Now, of course, you're also going to want to set up your ladder. Another nice thing is that it does have attachment points on the rear and on the sides for the ladder. So whichever side or back you wanted to put it on, you could adjust. I generally run it on my passenger side because my awning's on the driver's side, so for me that just makes sense. But if it is raining hard or something like that, and I want to take advantage of the slightly larger part of the awning at the back, you can set it up at the back, and you can leave your tailgate down. So let me show you that. The way that this hooks on is basically just these little hooks, and then you undo the Velcro strap and you pull the ladder down until it's touching the ground. One question that I've also been asked a few times is how long is the ladder? It is a 7.5 foot ladder. So again, once you've undone the two clasps, raise the tent up, put in your awning poles, and attach your ladder, you're pretty much done. It's ready to go. Right now I can climb up there, I can zip up my windows, I can zip up my screens, and I'm good to go. So now I'm going to do a tear down. I'm just going to show it in reverse, but I'm going to actually take it down so you can see it all in action, what it looks like to take it down and how long it takes. This time I'm not going to talk to you just so that I'm not slowing myself down. Because as you saw when I set it up, if I hadn't been talking to you, it probably takes 30 seconds to set the thing up. So this time again, I'm just going to tear it down quietly. So we'll put a timer up here on the screen and we'll see how long it takes. And there you have it. So one more thing that I did want to do is I wanted to do kind of a first person closing of the tent so you can see what happens to the fabric as you close the tent. So obviously it's going to act a little bit like a bellows. So you do have to be aware of that. As you close it, it's going to push that fabric out to the sides, right? Now again, since I'm standing on a tailgate, it's really easy for me to reach to that fabric. So generally what I'll do is I'll start on this side because it's the side with my awning and it's a little tighter. And I'll just kind of reach as far back as I can with my hands to pull that fabric in. And as I do that, I'm kind of leaning my arm on the top of the tent to close it so that it doesn't then bellows or get blown out by the closing of the tent. And as you can see, pretty much all that fabric's in there. There's nothing really sticking out. So that was that side. Then I'll kind of go around the back here and I'll tuck it in. When it's about 2 to 3 inches open, it doesn't really try to push back up with the gas struts. If you go a little bit above that, it'll start to open back up again. So you just want to be aware of that. If you feel that start to kind of go up, then you want to kind of stop and push down on it again, because if it opens again, then you're basically restarting. You're going to bellows that material back out. So anyway, so you push that in, then you come around to this side. Same thing, but it's a little bit easier because I don't have my awning here, right? And I'll just sort of push that material in on this side and be pushing down with my other arm so that it closes tight. Then all the fabric's in. I'll check the back one last time here just to make sure. And then I'll put a little bit of weight on it to get these hooks to go down to clasp around that. And again, I'm just going to make sure like my little handle isn't sticking out. Same thing. And then once those click on there, then all you got to do is push up, and you're clasped. And as you can see, there's no material sticking out or anything. And it's actually really easy. All right, guys, so that was the opening and closing and the bedding storage of the Naturnest rooftop tent. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button. If you have any questions, of course, post up in the comments down below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that. I do a ton of overlanding gear reviews and other content around overlanding, 3rd gen Nissan Frontiers, Nissan stuff in general. So if any of that stuff appeals to you, there will definitely be something here for you. Also in the description below will be a link to the tent, so if you want to buy one, it makes it really easy to find it because it is a little tricky to find the right one on Amazon. There are also links to all my other social channels, so wherever you'd like to hang out, I'd love to have you click through those and come join the conversation. And then there's also a link to my website where I've got patches and stickers, awesome, funny overlanding camping ones, so if you're into that stuff, check that out as well. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.